In mid-June, for the third time in the last several years, the issue of loitering came up at the Faribault City Council meeting. Councilor Jana Viscomi, who brought the issue to the council, explains.
The issue that I proposed was passage of the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being able to pass through the sidewalk without any feelings of intimidation.
Mm-hmm.
It, whether it's perceived or real,
Mm-hmm.
it is it's something that is affecting people. Like I just said, when there are multiple men standing on one side on a vehicle sitting and then sitting on a bench on the other, it is a harmless situation, but to a woman it is intimidating.
Is there a reason that you came to the city council with this now? Is there an incident that set it off, or was it just is there a reason that you came at this time?
I have been
year?
talking about this for 3.5 years. Okay, being downtown for 18 years, I've seen a change firsthand. So unlike most people that don't live down here, I'm here every single day for 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know a difference.
Okay.
Probably more than most. And yes, I want to kumbaya and embrace everyone and
Mm-hmm.
yay, but I also have a business to run, okay? And I also need to pay my bills and support 25 families, that
Mm-hmm.
work out of here. So how do I do that? And it's hard because, many other neighbors may not have a problem with it, but I've seen their doors avoided.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize it because they're on the inside, So how many people didn't have a place to park, or didn't want to get out, or came out of the theater and had people sitting on their vehicles, I mean, and it's not, police presence, that's what I'm asking for, from June until August,
Have you seen this predominantly in the summer months is when it's the bigger issue?
Yes.
Okay.
Once it's cold, it's not an issue, nobody wants to hang outside.
Right.
But once it's nice, this becomes a park.
Do you know, because I guess kind of the elephant in the room is that there's a large Somali presence down here.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you mentioned that you've seen every culture, every color
Mm-hmm.
part of the issue. Do you think there are some cultural differences that could take place with educating, the Somali community about the fact that it is, worrisome for some people to
Absolutely.
come down here?
Here's the thing. I've got a lot of friends that are Somali. Okay, So I would not have one problem going up to any of them and saying, "What are you doing? You can't be sitting on that guy's car." You know what I mean? But yet, if I said it to somebody that didn't know me, they might take offense. But if I know you well enough, even you, I would say, "Hey,
Right.
you can't sit on that guy's car. What are you doing?" It's almost like a mother needing it to be able to have a conversation and say, "Hey, you guys, come on. You got something better to do. Go do something."
Mary McComiskey with the Faribault Diversity Coalition says meeting and conversation outside is a large part of Somali culture.
The Somali culture is like Europeans used to be, probably, when they first came to the United States. They believe in family. They gather outside during the hot weather because most of them don't have central air. And it gets a little hot up in some of the apartments above on a higher level. In addition to that, they come out and they're a social people. They come to talk about what happened during the day. With their families. The men will gather and talk about what their jobs were like. The women gather and talk about the children. And they also talk about if they have any issues, what they're cooking, what they're baking, etc. Correct? They stay with their own because it's all new to them. And they want to become part of the United States. They love this country. And I know this because I know them quite well. And Mohammed, you understand what I'm saying, I believe.
Beth Westerhouse, owner of the Crafty Maven on Central Avenue, says she hasn't noticed loitering affect her business, contrary to the concerns of Councilor Viscomi.
Not that I'm aware of. In fact, we specifically put this bench out. Originally, there was a bench that had 3 seats, and it said SIT, and it invited people to come and sit. And one of my neighbors called to say that some of the Somali men were sitting on the bench, and I said, that's exactly why it's there. and I was not happy, and so I went home and looked up how to say sit in all sorts of languages, listed them alphabetically, and put them in a frame in the window. So one evening my sister came out to take in the flag and whatever furniture was out here for sale, and there were 3 men sitting on the bench and 2 men standing on the sidewalk having a conversation, and they kind of, when she came out, and she said, pointed to the sign and read how to say sit in Somali, and they of course laughed because I'm sure she said it all wrong. And then they got up and helped her take in the flag and helped her take in the furniture. They said, we just really appreciate that you give us a place to be, and that you welcome us here. And what we have found is that we have made great friends with that population of people.
Councilor Viscomi says a change she'd like to see is more of a police presence downtown.
Down here, I'm asking if we're going to have law enforcement down here, such as in the high schools, the CSO officers in the high school. I'm sure they're not enforcing ordinance out there. They're keeping the peace. So could it simply be a conversation of, hey, whatever it might be.
During the meeting where the issue was discussed, Police Chief Andy Boland said community service officers have been downtown 145 times in the last month, and the officers have a standing order to be visible downtown. CSO Marsden Powell confirmed the police presence downtown.
There's 3 of us, 4 technically, that are very proactive. There's usually always at least one of us down here every day, if not more. Our supervisor, Doug DeLucia, he likes to try to make sure that we schedule time to come down here every day. And this year so far, we've been down here 145 times, speaking with business owners, as I said, with general concerns about the city. As far as that's our main goal downtown.
Powell agreed that there was a cultural difference creating some of the issues downtown.
Well, what you said, I do agree. I believe that their culture is different. The way that the men conjugate and talk with each other. If you notice, a lot of that culture that is outside are the males, and they're usually talking to each other, joking around, play fighting, smoking, whatever they do. I do believe that if you got some of these other business owners out there and had a chance to talk to them and show them their culture and kind of try to introduce their culture into ours, so it's kind of meet halfway, and so it's not just a one-sided battle, I believe that would help out a lot.
While it isn't part of their current duties, Powell thought CSOs getting involved with helping the cultures understand each other could help.
It'd definitely be beneficial, because then it wouldn't be 2 parties who have nothing in common going to talk to each other. It'd be a mediator, person in the middle that can meet halfway and get both their ideas going.
So as a community service officer, you'd be willing to do that?
I'd be willing to assist with that, yes.
Okay. For Councilor Viscomi, more participation from the Faribault police is the answer. So if they see somebody, leaning on a car or a big group of people, or just anything that might make women or young women uncomfortable, just bring it to their attention and say, "Listen, guys, is that what you?"
That's it. But I'll tell you what, there's no 6'4" guy that's going to ever feel uncomfortable.
Right.
Okay? You don't know. You know what I mean? That's why I'm speaking out as a woman, because, if it happens to one person, it's one person too many. I'm sorry. But it is. We should never have an environment where anybody would feel uncomfortable, and it doesn't have anything to do with race. It's 2015. Give me a break. Who thinks this way?